Picture this. It's a chilly Saturday morning in a 1980s Canadian suburb. The smell of bacon drifts from the kitchen, the TV hums with Hockey Night in Canada reruns, and the house feels like a time capsule of cozy, quirky features we thought would last forever. But somewhere along the way, those familiar pieces of Canadian homes faded away. From coast to coast, let's rewind and revisit 10 home features that used to be in every Canadian house. Things that shaped our memories but are now just a whisper of the past. Number 1. Shag carpeting. You step into a 1970s living room in Mississauga, and your toes sink into a sea of plush, avocado green shag carpeting. It was soft, warm, and everywhere, covering floors in homes from Halifax to Vancouver. Families loved it because it muffled the sound of kids running around and kept those Winnipeg winters at bay. It wasn't just flooring, it was a lifestyle, where vacuuming became an art form to get those perfect rake lines. But by the 90s, hardwood and laminate started taking over. Easier to clean, less likely to hide crumbs or pet hair. Shag became dated, a relic of groovy days. You might still spot it in a retro basement or an old maritime cottage, but it's rare now. Doesn't that plush hug under your feet feel like a distant memory? Number 2, wood panel walls. Walk into a rec room in rural Alberta, and you'd be surrounded by wood panel walls. Those dark, knotty pine sheets that screamed cozy but slightly moody vibes. In the 60s and 70s, they were a budget-friendly way to finish basements or dens, especially in new subdivisions popping up in places like Scarborough or Burnaby. They made a house feel like a cabin, perfect for game nights or curling up with a book during a Quebec snowstorm. But as open concept designs and brighter aesthetics took hold in the 90s, those heavy panels got painted over or ripped out. Drywall and neutral tones won the day. Some older homes in small-town Ontario still have them, hiding behind layers of paint. Do you miss that warm, wooded glow? Number 3. Rotary dial phones. In every Canadian kitchen, a rotary dial phone sat proudly on the counter or hung on the wall. That satisfying click as you spun the dial, the long cord you'd twirl during chats with friends, it was a ritual. In the 70s and 80s, these phones connected families across provinces, especially during those long-distance calls on Christmas Eve. But push-button phones and then cordless models crept in by the late 80s, and cell phones sealed their fate by the 2000s. The rotary's charm couldn't compete with speed and portability. You might find one in a thrift store in Saskatoon or a retro diner, but they're more decor now than utility. Remember untangling those curly cords? Number 4. Linoleum flooring. Linoleum was the unsung hero of Canadian kitchens and bathrooms. In the 50s through 80s, its bold patterns, think speckled blues or geometric oranges, covered floors in homes from Fredericton to Kelowna. It was cheap, durable, and easy to mop after muddy boots tracked in from an Edmonton spring. Families loved it for its practicality in a country with 4 messy seasons. But by the 90s, vinyl and ceramic tiles took over, offering sleeker looks and easier upkeep. Linoleum's loud design started feeling old-fashioned. You might still see it peeling up in an old Manitoba farmhouse, a reminder of simpler times. Can you still hear the squeak of sneakers on that shiny surface? Number 5. Popcorn ceilings. Look up in a 1970s Canadian bedroom, and you'd see a bumpy, textured popcorn ceiling sparkling under the light. From Regina to Rimouski, these ceilings were everywhere. Cheap to install and great at hiding imperfections in new suburban homes. They also dampened sound, a bonus in rowdy households. But by the 2000s, their dusty, hard-to-clean reputation, plus whispers of asbestos and older mixes, made them fall out of favor. Smooth ceilings became the modern standard, and homeowners in places like Ottawa spent weekends scraping them down. Some still linger in older condos or rural bungalows. Did you ever stare at those bumps, imagining shapes like clouds? Number 6. Console TVs. In the heart of a Canadian living room sat the console TV, a hulking wooden cabinet that was half furniture, munities, perfect for gathering around during hockey night in Canada. From the 60s to the 80s, brands like RCA or Zenith were staples in places like Hamilton or Moncton, their warm glow lighting up family nights. But as flat screens arrived in the 90s, these beasts got too big, too heavy, and too power hungry. They ended up in basements or at curbsides during spring cleanups in Calgary. You might spot one in a retro arcade or a Newfoundland thrift shop, but they're mostly gone. Remember adjusting the rabbit ears to get CBC just right? Number 7. Harvest Gold Appliances. Open the door to a 1970s kitchen in Surrey or Sudbury, and you'd be greeted by Harvest Gold Appliances. Fridges, stoves, even dishwashers in that warm, mustardy hue. It was the color of optimism, paired with avocado green or burnt orange to make kitchens pop. Canadians love the bold look, and it matched the linoleum perfectly. But by the 90s, stainless steel and white appliances took over, looking cleaner and more modern. Harvest Gold felt dated, stuck in an era of fondue parties. You might still find a gold fridge humming in a PEI cottage. Doesn't that color spark a memory of mom's cooking? Number 8. Basements in places like London, Ontario, or Dartmouth often had drop ceilings. Those grid-like panels you could pop out to hide pipes or wires. In the 70s and 80s, they were a practical way to finish a basement without breaking the bank, and they gave easy access for repairs. Kids loved poking at the tiles during sleepovers. But as basements became polished rec rooms in the 2000s, open ceilings or drywall took over for a sleeker look. Drop ceilings started feeling cheap and dated. You might still see them in older community centers or small town rentals. Ever push a tile up to peek at the pipes above? Number 9. Aluminum storm windows. In the harsh winters of places like Saskatoon or Sherbrooke, aluminum storm windows were a lifesaver. These extra window panes, common in the 60s and 70s, were clipped onto houses to trap heat and block icy drafts. They rattled in the wind but kept hydro bills down in Ontario. As double and triple pane windows became standard in the 90s, storm windows became less necessary. They were a hassle to install every fall, too. Some old homes in rural Manitoba still have them stashed in sheds. Remember the sound of those metal frames clanking into place? And the last one in our top, avocado green bathrooms. Step into a 1970s bathroom in Etobicoke or Charlottetown, and you'd likely find an avocado green sink, toilet, and tub. This earthy shade was everywhere, paired with floral wallpaper or shag bath mats. It felt fresh and modern then, a bold choice for Canadian homes. But by the 90s, white and neutral tones took over, and green fixtures started looking like relics. Renovators ripped them out, though some vintage bathrooms survive in older Vancouver rentals or Quebec farmhouses. Doesn't that green glow take you back to bubble baths and AM radio? From shag carpets to avocado sinks, these home features were once the heartbeat of Canadian life, tying us to snowy nights, family dinners, and simpler times. They may be gone, but they live on in our memories, and maybe in a few old houses out there. Did any of these bring back memories for you? Drop a comment below and let us know what piece of the past you miss most. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to keep rewinding with us on Canadian Rewind. Until next time, keep playing back the past.